All right, we're back with another edition of the Call Up Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kenny, and we're back with another amazing episode of the Fig Life. I am happy to have Dylan Anthony here. He is a well-known ring gear collector. You could find him over on Instagram at I'm the Gear Collector. Anthony, what's going on?
Not much, man. How you been? How's everything?
I'm good. I'm good. How's your day going?
Good, man. Just here to show off some of my collection, you know?
Yeah, man. I love your collection. I've started getting ring gear. I'm a rookie to this, so I love to sit down with other collectors just to get more of a background story as like how they got started.
Yep.
What made you get into this particular hobby rather than say with other things where people collect like, pay-per-view chairs, they action figures like myself.
Yeah.
And like other like wrestling memorabilia. So just take us back. Like, what made you get started with ring gear itself?
I actually first started with autographs, like 8x10, stuff like that. And then I saw like everyone was starting to get them. And I was like, all right, I'm just going to fade and transition to something else. And I actually started when COVID hit in March is when I started. I started reaching out to the talent. I started reaching out to people I knew that knew the talent. So I kind of had like my little ins and outs over there, you know?
Yeah. So, I mean, can you hear me? Hey, okay, cool. It was like a little miscommunication there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do notice that a lot of people that I talk to, they all say the same thing where they reached out to the talent to get these things. So like, what exactly like entails like can you take us through a little process here? Is it a little secret that you can't really reveal, or?
It's not really a secret. It's just some of the talent you can message them through Instagram via Facebook, but it's just hard because they're so busy and they're always on the road, so they don't really answer their phones as much as some other does, you know. But I mean, through Tony Storm and Rhea Ripley, I have a little private connection. I could name, but I don't know if he wants to get flooded, but he does a lot of private signings he did it with Sasha Banks, Bailey. He does it with Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley, Adam Cole. So he's getting his name known out there, but he's always constantly dealing with everybody, and he always lets me know who's going and who's coming. So at least I know of who I could pick up, aka that.
Yeah, so we'll get into that jacket a little bit later because we spoke off air about that, but it intrigues me so much sometimes. A lot of the time when I see like you guys in the Facebook group, like post all these things, and I remember I had the other Anthony on here, and he was telling me about like how he does the same thing where he reaches out to talent, either that or he goes through like another collector, and so so on. I've done the same thing where I've reached out to like other talent to get their ring gear, and then I've happened to just like bump into somebody who collects ring gear like yourself, and then they'll just point me in the right direction, or they'll like make the deal for me in a sense. Yeah. So like, what are some other challenges like that you have faced since because you said you started this when COVID happened, so that was about a year ago. So like, what was like that challenge like in the beginning?
Just getting in contact with everybody. And some other people they never answered you, so you just don't bother them. But other people answer you, and then you ask them and they're like, I don't know if I really want to yet because I'm still wearing it, or it's just sentimental to them and stuff like that, but that's where you break the barrier. And then once you break the barrier, it's all set in stone and you're good to go. So like, I have pieces over here I'm going to show you guys in a few minutes, but you'll see some of them.
Yeah, because I do, when you say like a lot of them say that they still, they're wearing a particular item that you want. I went through that same experience with one particular talent where I reached out to him and he was just like, yeah, I'll sell it to you, but like I kind of still need it for like another month and a half because I'm doing other stuff with it. So I was just like, okay, and I left it alone. You really don't want to bother them after a while. Just be like, hey. But you kind of just do like that check-in, like within a month or so. But like, hey, I just want to make sure we're still good, because if not, the deal will go, south or whatever.
Or they
Um,
get annoyed at you
mhm,
sometimes. Don't want
yeah.
to buy anymore. So there's like a line you gotta just you don't cross that line. So you gotta
Hmm.
and let them reach out to you sometimes. So it's hard, but
Right. And then you see now recently with A&E doing the whole like treasure hunt for like like lost items and stuff like that. The WWE is looking for, and I talking to like other collectors, they all say the same thing. It's like, am I ever gonna get that call or like that email stating like, hey, we're looking for something that you have that we want back,
yeah.
type of thing. Is there anything like that in your collection right now that you can possibly say like, hey, you know what? Possibly one day they might, knock on my door or give me a call or an email and say like, you have this and we want it.
I don't have. I know like I watched some of the A&E like that treasure show. I don't have like the 1980s stuff that other people have. Like I don't have the HBKs. I don't have the
Mm-hmm.
kinds. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. I have more sense of the newer talent per se. Like I have I have like, bottoms of page that I own that no
Mm-hmm.
one never, that it's hard to get that. Like so people are shocked that I have that, but then I have some Lita stuff that she did in photo shoots and stuff like that. But then I have some Mandy Rose, Tony Storm. I have the Mick Foley jacket that we discussed about the
Mm-hmm.
back behind me over here that you saw with the Rhea Ripley. So I'm kind of
Right.
like basing it off the newer talent.
Right.
Someday down the road, I'm never gonna resell half the stuff that I own.
Mm-hmm.
There are pieces that I will resell, but then certain
Mm-hmm.
I will never let go in my life. So
So now you like, is there a budget wise where you be like, like I will only go this high when it comes to like buying a particular item?
it depends on who the talent is.
Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, I'm not gonna lie. If it's Rhea or Tony, I don't care about budget. I throw out the money, because that's who I like. That's my top two talent that I'm chasing after right now. So, but
Yeah, yeah. When I got into this hobby, I'm a big New Day fan. So when I seen they had some stuff from like say like Big E, I went and I said like, you know what, I'll spend the money and like
exactly,
and just just shelled it out for it. But there's like other stuff where I just be like, oh man, I don't know,
yeah,
you
because
know.
some talent they ask, which is understandable. I think when they ask a lot for their stuff, they just don't want to part with it. That's why they
Right.
buy with it. But then there's another talent that goes, all right, $600,
Mm-hmm.
700. So that's the talent that I kind of work with.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to, just trying to get into it, But it's a hard hobby. It's money effective, put it that way.
That's true. So when I bumped into you online, not in person, um, it was funny because you had the jacket that's behind you, which is the Raina Ripley jacket from NXT,
Yep.
right? So it was funny because the person who was putting it up for auction
Hmm.
had hit me up and said, "Hey, I'm throwing this up.
Yep.
At first it was gonna be private, and I was just like, okay, like just let me know whether or not if it's gonna be like open to everyone or like
Yeah.
you're gonna have like a particular round of people that you're gonna reach out to, and I just happened to be one of these people. And then he was just like, I think the other person that had it was like, hey, we're just gonna throw it up because it's for charity. So I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'll put a bid in, and then that kind of just like it was. I mean, you would know because you'll tell more of the story on your like you'll tell your part. But like when I seen the number, I was just like, okay, this is not bad because it started off small. It was like $200 or something
Yeah.
like that it started. And I remember I said, you know what, I'm gonna put in my highest bid, which is like $1,000. I said I'll
Yeah.
put 1,000 up and see how it goes. And like for like a good while, it was good. And then all of a sudden, I think it was like the next day, it went up to
An insane amount.
like 1,300, and I was just like, damn, do I really want it? And I put up 1,400. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go over my budget. I'll add the extra 400. And then all of a sudden it just kept going 2,000, 3,000, 5, and then it stood at 10. And
Yeah.
then I reached out to the guy and I said, "Is this real? Like, is this jacket really gonna sell for 10,000?" He was just like, and he even said it too. He was like, "I don't think that. I think somebody's messing around and just like trying to like sabotage it because she had." Put a post out stating that she was doing, she was like auctioning off her jacket,
Yeah.
and he was just like, well, we just got to wait and see. So I was like, okay, but I wasn't gonna go any higher than
No.
what I did. So and then you posted the jacket
Hmm.
on the Ring Worn Facebook group that we're in,
Yeah.
and I was just like, holy shit, that's the guy. So now it's your turn, so you could tell us a little bit more as far as like your experience of getting this jacket.
The That whole eBay thing was such a debacle. It was. Do you know what it was? It was a robot bidder.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, no, I noticed it. Yeah.
I talked to the guy. I said, "Listen, there's no way that a jacket. No offense to Rhea Ripley at all,
Mm-hmm.
amazing talent that she is. It's just there's no way a jacket should go all the way up to 10 grand. That's like you're entering border of Shawn Michaels, Triple H, under
Mm-hmm.
those guys. That's border like legend, which she will be one. That,
Mm-hmm.
but that was just insane. And I also messaged him too, and I said, listen, I said, I'm going to discuss a price with you because I know this 10 grand is not going to get paid at all. And we ended up discussing a price, which was at the time somewhat high, but I didn't want to let it go because
Right.
I knew the guy that worked with Rhea Ripley, and
Mm-hmm.
I have the pants to match it,
Nice.
entire top and bottom that she wore in NXT UK. So I didn't want to let it go, and I finally got the pants. Actually, was it 4 or 5 days ago? I got them mailed,
Okay.
so I finally completed the set. I'm working on getting like more situated with the mannequins and all that stuff,
Right.
but yeah, that guy on eBay, he actually talked to me on the side because Tommaso Ciampa actually was holding on to those. So that
Mm.
guy holding on to him, as you prior said.
Uh-huh.
So he didn't want to let him go because he was like, I don't think this is a real bid, so there's no way anyone's going to own these. And he actually took,
Yeah.
and he was going to redo it, but I said, listen, it's for charity. I offered X amount of dollars,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, you know what, let's do it because half of it was going to, or I don't even know if it was full or if it was half, but whatever he
Yeah.
did was going towards charity. So I said, whatever, as long as it's for a good cause,
Mm-hmm.
I want to start building up, and I want to start getting. I don't really want to be like known, but I want to be known as one of the guys out there.
Right.
Like Tim, like those guys, like you saw on that show, the
Mm-hmm.
Amy
Yeah,
show.
Tim, I've spoken to him offline as well, and like his collection, like I don't know like
His collection is insane.
how like you guys get this stuff half the time. I mean, I know for like myself, I reach out to like like other talent,
Yeah.
and it's like a hit or miss. And
Oh,
then there's other times where like I see other guys that they post all this stuff, and they're like, oh, and and some people are like very secretive.
yeah.
Like you reach out to them and be like, "Hey, how
They,
did you get this?"
they
And
don't want
they'll
to talk.
and they don't want to tell you. They'll just be like, they'll look at it or they'll leave you on red or whatever the case may be, and then you just see them start posting stuff later on. And you be like, "Man, I just hit you up." And like you serious?
Yeah.
And then there's other people who literally would just want to buy the gear just to flip it later to try and
Yeah.
get like
That's not.
more money for it. And I've seen that even in
Yeah.
the Facebook group where we're in, where like people bought stuff off of eBay and then try to flip it for like more money, and I'm just like, really? Like you
Look,
just got that at night not too long ago. Like
some people like doing that because it's just in their nature.
right.
But there's other people like for you, me, Tim, those kind of guys. That's in their collection to stay in their collection. Like it must have killed Tim to get rid of that Mankind that he got rid of.
Oh yeah, man. Oh my god, that shirt was beautiful.
Yeah, it definitely killed him to get rid of that. But I'm sure they made an offer that he couldn't refuse.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
But like for instance, if WWE comes at me, I'm actually trying to get in contact with them for the
The
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania jacket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because to me it's an iconic piece because you have Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Undertaker, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Goldberg. The list just goes on and on. Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton, Mick Foley's on there. Like the list is just on and on that jacket. So for me, I would love to own it, but I'd rather it go to somewhere else that they can treasure it more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it sits in my closet sometimes, and I'm like, what? I have it, I own it. Yeah, I'm happy,
Right.
but I'd rather it go to someone else.
That's true.
So because I can't really display it, and it's very hard to display that jacket.
Hmm.
It's signed on both sides of the
Right. Yeah, that's something you have to get something where like they can like walk around it and
or
take a look at it.
rotating
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So, but then there's other pieces that I have over here. If you want, I could show you some.
Yeah, it's definitely that's where
That's up
you
to
know I
you.
wanted to get into. Yeah, so I wanted to get into now as far as like the pieces that you own and just a little bit of like the backstory.
Mhm.
You know, we got the Rena Ripley backstory of her jacket
Yeah.
and gear. So, what are some other pieces that you have in your collection?
I could start off with this. I'm gonna show the camera this one. This is actually Pages. These are the bottoms that she wore. She
Mm-hmm.
signed them for me. And I actually got these through another collector, and he didn't want to get rid of them, but like I said, I made an offer. But
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to reach out to Paige first. So I actually entered her stream on Twitch, and I told her, is there any way we get in contact? Because before I buy these, I want to make sure that you actually wrestled in them.
Mm-hmm.
I went back into her live, and she said she confirmed that those were hers. She goes, Dylan, I never get rid of anything. So she goes, you should be lucky to own those because I still have everything else that, except for like 2 or 3 other pieces that I've known that are out there.
Mm-hmm.
But these are one of them. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're just, it's awesome to own them because I know she's not going to come back to wrestling.
Right.
So for her to let go of something is nice, you know, because she knows that they're not going to go anywhere.
Right. That's true.
Go anywhere. So that's one of them. I actually own. This is actually a cool little piece. It's Lita's when she actually did. It's actually made of tire, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
So it was in her photo shoot. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see. Mm-hmm.
So this was actually all recycled tire that she wore in her photo shoot
Wow.
that she got rid of. And I didn't reach out to her directly. It was actually on one of the guys that auction stuff off, High Spot.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that's where I got this whole ensemble from, which I then reached out to her, and she said, I'm very glad that it's actually going to someone that's going to hold on to it instead of someone that's just going to try to resell it and get rid of it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that's Lita. She actually told me she doesn't have any more gear
Oh wow.
rid of.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, she was with Matt Hardy and all them. So all that kind of stuff, that's where her career started. So she's
Right.
sentimental, like we discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So she doesn't want to get rid of that. Over here, I don't know if you remember Miss Emma
Oh my god.
Ashwood.
Mm-hmm.
So this was her top, and then I have her bottoms. This was when she actually was with Santino Morella. Do you remember that whole little?
Yes. They were doing the whole dance gimmick. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So this one's with that I own. And I actually contacted her directly to get these 2 pieces that I'm showing you right now. And then this is another piece of hers that I own as well. And this is her Emma days too. I only went after the Emma stuff on her because I know it's more noticeable.
Right.
So this is that one. And then this is the other bottoms, which I thought was a neat piece to own.
Yeah, that's so cool. Like just like it's so crazy. Like when they they come up with these like gear designs, and now like other people just own them and stuff like that, and you can actually just continue telling their story.
Yep. It was her directly. I reached out through her on Instagram, and she actually replied back. But she, to my knowledge, she had one gear left, but I think it actually recently sold on her website, so I don't think she has. So, and then I don't know if you know Do you know who Tessa Blanchard is?
Of course, I know who Tessa Blanchard is. She was the first female champion over at Impact Wrestling.
So I have her vest,
Woo.
which is a beauty, and it's signed Impact Worn in Georgia. So I got this through High Spots as well. So
Okay.
but this is just another beauty. I like this piece. It was such a nice. See, it kind of looks like a gator / like snakeskin type of material that she.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's always had good gear.
Yeah, she was good with her gear.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only piece I own of hers. Now this one, this one's through my other one that I got the Rhea from, which is awesome to own because this was her. I believe it was her first ever NXT gear. To my knowledge, she told me. This is Mandy Rose.
Yes, I remember when you showed me this. I seen it on your Instagram page.
Yes,
and I was just like, damn, how the hell did he get that?
This is Mandy Rose. This is her NXT gear. So, I believe, to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but this first ever she told me. It's the complete set: armbands, knee pads, everything.
Nice.
That's to my knowledge, but I don't know. Could be wrong, but
right.
It is what it is.
Listen, it's still cool. It's still cool to own, though.
Oh yeah, all this stuff is cool. I was just wearing this before. This you saw. This is
Commissioner Foley.
Yep, this is Foley's. Basically one of one suit that he wore as GM. Which, props to him on fitting into this thing because I couldn't even fit into it. But that's that piece.
How did you get that one?
Believe it or not, that's another High Spots one that I got.
Okay.
But he didn't want to sell it because someone offered him a price that he didn't want. So I actually talked to him offline through High Spots. We video chatted. And I said, listen, I need a piece by you. I wish it was Mankind, but it is a 1-of-1 because you're not going to see another jacket of his like that. And he said, what's your offer? I made him an offer. He talked to Mike. You know who Mike is, right?
Yeah.
Talked to Mike. Mike called me back. He said, offer's done. Good to go. You own it. So he sent it to me, which was
very nice.
So it was cool. It was nice. I FaceTime with a lot of them too. Like I have Rhino gear and stuff like that. Rhino, like his only WWE gear that's out there known to existence. Like right now, I own that.
Nice.
So, but okay. Now here's the other one I was telling you about. This is Tony Storm. I don't know. Hold on. There we go. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Kind of like it's like a hard leather to pull out right now. It's being complicated right now. There we go. That's Tony Storm's. This is actually when she was in the Mae Young Classic. So here's the bottom to that.
And it's funny because I did a charity event with Tony Storm, and I spoke to her, and I was just like, hey, it was like her and Chauncey Blackheart, where I was just like, hey, like, if you guys ever like have like ring gear, and I remember Chauncey saying that she was thinking about getting rid of her jacket from In Your House.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, hey, if you decide to get rid of that jacket, man, just let me know.
I'm actually talking to Shotzi about that. It's the green, white, and black gear. Is that the one?
Yes, I believe so. I think it's that one. Yeah. I have to look at the picture again from In Your House and see the gear that she had.
Yeah, she made me an offer, so I'm thinking of it because she wants to give me the full jacket with that gear. So I'm waiting to see her reply and see what we're gonna discuss. But that
how high is that offer right now that she's throwing out there?
Pretty high.
Okay, yeah, I kind of figured that. Because she was like, I don't know how much I want to sell the jacket for. Because she only told me about the jacket, so I was just like, hey, if you ever,
that's why.
Yeah, so I was just like, hey, like, if you ever decide to like, still sell it, like, let me know, like, get in contact with the person that like linked us together. But he's on vacation right now, so even if she probably did, like, he's been so busy that I haven't even spoken to him in a while. So
yeah, everybody's so busy now, man. Everything
things are opening back up again.
now. This is Tony Storm's other gear. I don't know if you're going to remember where this was worn from. Let's see if you can remember that. Besides
What
looking.
was it? I mean, it looks like the some of the gear that she used when she was at with the UK brand.
No, this was actually from 2018. This is her Evolution gear.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's when she fought. Is that when she fought Io Shirai? I think.
I believe so. Yeah, because they were the last two.
Yes, the tournament. Yep. So this is her gear. This was very hard for her to let go,
Mm,
but did some wheeling and dealing. I own it. Very proud to. So that's not going anywhere.
very cool.
Everybody could try, but it's not going anywhere. Now, I got some jackets over here. This is one of them. Can you see that?
Yes.
This was actually the Blackpool when she fought against Rhea Ripley. So this is the jacket she wore. The badass, I think, at least. So this one, I snagged for a good price.
That is definitely cool.
Like I told you, it's never leaving the collection, so it's not.
Mhm.
So, but this is another one that she wore in WWE.
Okay.
This is NXT that she wore this in, and then this one is a badass piece. This
Damn,
one,
it looks like you own all her jackets.
pretty much. But this one she wore in WWE.
Okay.
So that's what when they were transitioning everybody to move up and everything. But I mean, this is so nice. Well,
And it does look good. I mean, the detail on that is amazing.
and it's actually a pretty heavy jacket, man. Not
Mhm.
it's a really heavy jacket, but it's a badass piece to own. But that's that. I mean, can you still see me if I go like this?
Yeah. No, yeah, I can.
This is the Rhea, as you can see. This one, I'll bring it closer so everybody can see. That's the back,
Nice.
baby. So
That was one of the things that I loved. It was just like the detailing of the jacket and like the whole stuff. And
so cool with the studs and everything. And you could tell it's funny because when she enters the ring,
yeah.
she takes her vest off and throws the damn thing.
Oh yeah. So I
So
know some of the studs and stuff like that came off.
some of the studs are off, which I think is cool because at least it was like ring used type of,
You're right.
So I think it's a neat piece. And which is just awesome. And especially now she's champ. So
Oh yeah. So I know a lot of her stuff is gonna go for like way more.
yeah, 100%. I mean, I have other room, but for now I'll just show those pieces. Do you want to take a closer look at the jacket?
Which one?
The WrestleMania one.
Yeah, definitely. They show that off.
So this is the bad boy right here. So I'm gonna try to get close if I can. I don't know if you can see some of the signatures.
So how did you inquire about this jacket? Like how did
Got this from a guy in Italy,
mm.
and he was selling it surprisingly not for a crazy price. But I mean, I couldn't let it go because he's signature right here.
Yeah, it's like because I know you told me you had Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero signatures on there.
See right here?
Wow.
That's Chris Benoit's. And he actually wrote WrestleMania. I think it was. He won the championship. He wrote everything out here. The Triple H on this. You got Stone Cold Steve Austin, man. This thing is just.
That's something that you display it. We were saying that you needed something that could just rotate it around for you to really take a look at like a full view of this whole entire thing.
It's insane. This thing, honestly, I think it really deserves to be in the WWE museum because I think it's just so iconic. Let's see. I want to just see. I actually never wore this before, but I mean, this is actually better. You could probably see the signatures.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you got Victoria. That's Randy Orton. You got Sonny, and then you got a whole thing over here. It's just so iconic to me, to be honest with you. You got Kane, Stone Cold, Corey Will.
Wow.
You got Batista on here. You got Mick Foley again right here. Look, you got The Rock. Like, how could you? Like, it deserves to be somewhere, you know.
Right.
That's why I'm trying to reach out to them, and hopefully they'll get back to me. I don't really care. I'd rather it just be somewhere that it deserves to be instead of just like, I'm not gonna lie, it sits in my closet. You know,
Right.
I'm sure people's stuff sits in the closet too. But
Oh yeah, a lot of my stuff sits in the closet because I don't have the room for it right now.
exactly, and I'd rather it not sit in the closet. I'd rather it be in some collection or in the WWE so they can own it again.
So listen, I love the collection. Where can other people who are watching this or listening to this right now, like where can they get like a closer look of a lot of the stuff that you just showed off right now?
I mean, I'm very active on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm the Gear Collector. I'm also on Facebook. I made a page. I'm the Gear Collector. But you can also message me on Facebook as Dylan Anthony. I'm on there. I could show videos off. I could do anything you guys ever wanted me to do.
Okay.
It's just, I rather people see what's out there instead of it being hidden. Like, some of these people just hide things, you know?
Right.
Like, there's one guy I know who has an iconic HBK. Do you remember when HBK went down on the zip line?
Yes, that was when he fought Bret Hart.
Yep. Remember when he was wearing the white crossed outfit with the big holes in it? I know a guy who has that, and it just sits there and it's framed up. I'm like, dude, you got to show this off.
Wow.
And he just doesn't want to because he doesn't want to get his name out there.
Right.
But
which is understandable. I mean, some people want to be very private.
Yeah, but see, the whole thing of collecting is you want to show it off. You know, you don't want to just hide it from the world. Like, this is why they're doing that treasure show. They never knew that this many people had all this other gear until they realized it. And they're like, oh my God, we got to hunt this down. We got to find who owns this, who owns that. Like, I'd rather it be out there and be known about instead of just hiding in someone's basement.
That's true.
That's just me personally. That's why I don't mind showing off all this stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not anywhere near some of these people at the collection wise.
Right.
But the thing is, I don't collect just to collect. I collect who I want.
I'm the same way. I have that same rule. Like, I'm just not gonna collect random people. Like, it has to be somebody that like I'm really a fan of.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna. No offense to the people I'm gonna name. I'm not gonna collect like a Kalisto, or I'm not gonna collect like you know, like the lower like talent that they have.
Right.
I'm gonna go after that. I'm gonna go after the big major talent that's gonna have a future down here, like AKA. No, like those.
All right, well, Dylan, man, thank you so much for coming on the show and just like showing off these pieces and just giving us like a backstory of like how you got started.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to like have you on again to, share more stories of the things that you got.
Oh, I'll definitely come on. I have more pieces back there, which we could do a whole nother show for.
Oh, well, listen, we'll definitely do a part 2. All right, man. Take care.
Thank you so much.